What's up guys, Merciless Vaughn here, back with another Bleach Brave Souls video, and in this one we are going to be showcasing the 7th anniversary Ishida. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you do, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel or you've been here for a while, please consider subscribing. Help me get to 150 subscribers. And so yeah, without wasting any more time, let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, so this 7th anniversary Ishida has the human / Quincy affiliation. He has the ranker and no affiliation killer. His SP slot is at 10 and his soul trait is strong attack, recharge time -12%. And taking a look at his skills, he is a melee unit with weakening and drain on all of his abilities, and he has the debuff soul bomb. And now the gauge effect, which is new to the game, that when you fill the gauge you get 100% berserker and damage decrease, and decreased damage taken by 50%, excuse me. His innate skills are sprinter +2, long stride, team / party stamina recovery 20%. And so the gauge effect, when that's full, strong attack recharge time is 30%. He has an increased normal attack damage of 20% or 20% bruiser, increased strong attack damage. He has a base of 20%. It's 60% because the links and equipment that I have, but the base is 20%. He has devastation 40%. And his reduced strong attack cooldown is 12. It's at 36 because of the links that I have. He is T20, so I gave him full stamina damage boost for the first one. He has Havoc +20%, Frenzy +2, Defibrillator +5 seconds, increased status element chance against power attribute enemies, team / party increased speed attribute character strong attack damage +20%, and the second bonus that I gave him for C20 is weakened defense. He also has a new skill, guard break plus hitting enemies, which is really good. And the rest of these stats are from the accessories that I'm using, which are the Spirit Javelin, Fortification Pill, and the Quincy Cross. And here are the links that I'm going to be using are the Azashiro, Noel, and the Psychobonizing. And the bonus abilities, full stamina damage boost, weakened defense. So yeah, we're going to take him into IZ and IT and see what kind of damage he does. Alright, so here we are in an inheritance zone. As you can see, this is a basic nat string right here. And as you can see, while I am doing this basic nat string, his gauge meter is filling up. And so once that gauge meter is full, you do your SA1, 2, or 3 to activate that gauge once it's full, and then you will be taking advantage of the gauge effects. And so yeah, just gonna go ahead and move on to his SA1. He has the 3000 lift beam, I believe. I'll put the details of the strong attacks somewhere on the screen. So his SA1 is similar to 6th anniversary Aizen's. His SA2 and his SA3 is just going to be the standard full strength. And so yeah, that's pretty much it to his character. Guard break plus hitting enemies. So yeah, this Ishida is really good, especially when you get that gauge maxed out. I'll try to get it maxed here. And so over time, when you're just using your abilities, it will just fill up. It doesn't even have to be your abilities, it can just be your nat string too. Alright, as you can see, the gauge is kind of glowing now. As you can see on the indicator from the gauge, the SA1, 2, and 3 on the gauge are highlighted. So that basically tells you those are the abilities you can use to activate the gauge. So for example, I'll just use the SA2, and as you can see, the gauge is activated. And so now I am taking advantage of all the gauge's effects. And while the gauge is active, you can build up the gauge again, so you can just get it back whenever the first gauge bonus runs out. So on paper and with the gameplay, it's pretty good, but these enemies are too weak to really showcase the gauge. Ah, oh, didn't show off his soul bomb. That was an accident. Alright, so here we are in Inheritance Trial. He doesn't have Killer here, so just do keep that in mind. But I'll do a couple runs of Inheritance Trials just to try and showcase the character better, because he's just dealing a lot of damage. And he does have Drain, so I will get that full stamina damage boost back pretty easily. With the Frenzy +2 as well, yeah. These characters were really good, especially with the gauge effects. Try to do a couple of Nash strings to fill up the gauge more. Yes, he does have Sprinter +2 and Long Stride, so he's really zooming across the map. That 3000 left unit is still very good. As you can see, the gauge is now full. So I'll go ahead and use my SA1, the gauge is active. And while I'm still using my abilities, I am making more progress towards the next gauge. And the character is doing insane amounts of damage. Might not need to do 2 runs of IT, but I'll probably do it anyway. And that's for a soul bomb again. Quincyは弓矢以外は使わないって。Alright, so we're gonna try and speed run this one just to see how fast we clear. He even still has weakening and drain on his soul bomb, so his soul bomb will hit very hard. About halfway there to get in the gauge. Alright, so the gauge is full. And yeah, from the looks of it, it's not like you deal damage, but just using your abilities is the way to fill the gauge up. So if you want, you can just like hang in the back, just do a whole bunch of Nash strings until the gauge is full. But that's kind of boring. Yeah, this character is really good. And I would say he is better than the Ichigo. Quincyは弓矢以外は使わないって。これで満足か? And so yeah, that was a brief showcase with this unit. If you ask me, he's probably the new best speed unit in the game. I don't really think you can argue about it. I mean, he's better than Azashiro. He has Frenzy +2. He has the gauge effect, Long Strider Sprinter, increased status element chance against enemies, increased speed attribute character damage too. So yeah, I think he's better than Azashiro. He just does so much damage. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. And as usual, until next time.